Hey Go Club, it's Mrs. Chang, and it's our first video message of the year. I just wanted to welcome all of our new members as well as our returning members. I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a great year at Toastmasters. I'm a little sad that I don't get to see Group B's speeches, but I'm sure you'll all do fine, and Mrs. Rumsey and Mrs. Stanley and the other moms will get to enjoy them. Okay, so our time is very limited in class, or actually our meeting. So doing these video messages allow me to give you more information, encouragement, advice, whatever it is. So every once in a while I will be sending these out to you. Okay, today I wanted to go over table topics and Project 1 with you. If you are going to be the topics master on a certain week, make sure you look at the theme for that week and base your topics off of theme. Even though the theme seems limiting, it really isn't. There are so many different topics that you can come up with within the theme. The best topics will be ones that will relate the speaker to the audience, ones that will help us to get to know them better. For example, if the theme is food, then your questions could be, what are your favorite foods and why? Or have you ever tried any exotic foods? How was it? And did you like it or not? And why? Or if you know how to make a particular dish or dessert that you really, really like, please share with us how to make it. Those could be some topics under food. Or if the theme is animals, your topics can be, what is your most memorable experience with an animal, good or bad? Or if you can have any mythical, fantasy, or real animal as a pet, what would it be and why? So come up with questions that will relate to the speaker and help us to get to know the speaker better. Okay? Now when you are actually doing table topics, the best way to think of them is to think of them as exercising your thinking reflexes. These are great exercises for you to be quick in your thinking skills and organizational skills in your mind, and they're great for you. They're great skills for you to have for interviews or any impromptu type situation in the future. So a couple of tips that I have for you is just remember having the basic intro, body, conclusion type structure to your impromptus. By now in middle and high school, you should be pretty familiar with that in writing, right? You have your intro, your body, and your conclusion. Okay, just make sure you have a strong intro. Then you fill in the body with details about the topic, and then you end with a definite concluding thought. Okay, and always end with a thank you before you actually walk off the stage. Okay, so start strong and end strong. Now before I move on to project number 1, I just wanted to encourage you all and let you know that you've all made a great decision by joining Toastmasters. Okay, maybe it wasn't your choice, but for you to be in Toastmasters, I am sure that this experience can only be beneficial for you. You will learn skills that will help you in the future and ultimately help you to be effective communicators for Christ, whether it's one-on-one or in a small group setting or even in front of thousands and thousands of people. So it's only going to be a good experience for you. You have the opportunity to learn and grow and experience in a safe and Christian environment. So I hope you are all excited and thankful to be here. But truthfully, what you get out of it is what you put into it. It will mostly depend on what you put into it. This club is not for me. It's not for Mrs. Rumsey. It's not for Mrs. McFadden. It's for you. It's up to you to make the best out of it. for yourselves and for the rest of the club. Okay, so now at this point, if you are a returning member, you can sign off. I'm going to talk more about Project 1 for our new members. So returning students, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye. Okay, so project number 1, as I'm sure you all read in your handbooks, this project is all about you. That is the topic. The purpose for this project is for the audience to get to know you, and also for you as a speaker. It really is the easiest topic to speak about. So as you write out your speech and practice it, just remember we are getting to know you. So you want to pick 3 or 4 different aspects of yourself that you would like the audience to know about. And remember to take a look at your evaluation sheets, because that is what the evaluators will be looking for. Okay, so look at the evaluation sheets for project number 1. I would highly suggest that you write it all out, then transfer an outline onto note cards. Okay, note cards, and write an outline on it, and try not to write the whole speech on it. What does that mean? That means you need to know your speech very, very well. Okay? You can memorize it, but you want to make sure you just know it very well, because you don't want to get caught up on the whole word for word thing. That may actually stump you during your speech. Just know your speech very well, have an outline on your note cards, and hopefully if you get stumped, you'll be able to move forward without too much trouble. Okay, so this speech is for you to get used to being up front and speaking in front of an audience. It is going to prepare you for your future speeches, but at the most, and also for organizational skills, it's just a way for you to get used to being up front. Okay? The projects that come after will go into more details on how to have the most effective speech ready. Each project builds upon each other, so what you learn in this one, you will take in the next one, and so on. Now, the future projects will go more into detail on the following things, but remember, eye contact, body language, voice fluctuation, those are all important things that you want to be mindful of as you practice. Try to have as much eye contact with your audience as possible. When people get a little bit nervous, they tend to look down a lot, or they tend to just look at one side of the room. But you want to be mindful of that as you practice, and try to make sure you're getting eye contact with your whole audience. Okay? So practice, practice, practice. So you know you can pick these things up as you go. Next is body language. Just try to have a fluid movement in your body language. As you practice, again, notice if you shift from one side to the other too much, or if you're leaning on one side too much, or maybe sometimes, when people are nervous, they'll start shaking their legs, or they'll swing or kick their legs. Again, as you practice, you want to be mindful of some of these nervous things that you may do and work on them, so you are doing less of it or just none of it. Okay? Let's see, maybe instead of shaking or shifting or kicking, you could just take a step here and there, and that will help with the nervousness, and it will also help with your body movement, your fluidity. Okay? Voice fluctuation is also very important. You don't want to sound monotone throughout your whole speech. That will make your speech a little bit on the boring side. Okay? So, you want to make sure that your voice is fluctuating. If you are talking about something exciting, you're going to say it with an exciting voice. Being monotone throughout your speech can make something fun and exciting not so fun and exciting. Okay, so be mindful of that also. Okay, So I hope this will help you with your first project. Again, practice, practice, practice. And I'm sure you'll all do very well. I'm so excited for you all. I know it's a lot to absorb, but don't worry too much. Jump right in and just do it and do your best, okay? God bless you, Mrs. Rumsey, and I will see you on Wednesday, okay? Bye.